All right, HBCU Legends fans, it's Kyle T Mosley, and it is SWAC Football Championship weekend. The Prairie View A&M Panthers will ride into Jackson, Mississippi, and take on the Jackson State Tigers at the Vet, where so many historic games have been played. Kickoff is going to go down at 1 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Prairie View feels confident. Jackson State feels confident. What's going to happen? Who's going to win? Let's talk about it on the other side. All right. It's Kyle T Mosley, HBCU Legends. You guys can go to hbculegends.net to follow my articles on SI, and you can be able to also check us out and follow us on social media at HBCU Legends and at KTMOZE. That's follow me personally on those social media platforms as well. Guys, a lot has been going on. Of course, the SWAC championship game is coming up, but also we had a new coach that's taken over at the Bluff in Southern University. And we have accolades that have been rolling out left and right across the Southwestern Athletic Conference, as well as nationally with the All-American team as well, from box to row, where I'm a voter in that one as well. So, guys, let's talk about first Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk has taken over the reins as the head coach of the Southern University Jaguars. Congratulations to Marshall. He had his buddy Aeneas Williams, who's a Hall of Famer, as well as they were teammates on the Los Angeles Rams teams that went to the Super Bowl. And the Hall of Famer also comes from Southern University, so that was special to have him there. And you had the old ball coach and Mr. Avery Johnson. He was there, and he's a champion from San Antonio days, and Avery's a native New Orleanian, just like Marshall Faulk. So it was good to have him there, as well as Aeneas Williams. So there was a lot of New Orleans blood right there at that press conference. So it was great to see, great to hear, great to just be able to think that Marshall has a really fine chance to come in and do a great job over there at the Bluff. So let's just kind of hear what he had to say.
I'll start with what this means to me. Listen, for me to have my first head coaching job in this state that gave me everything and provided everything for me as I sent that message to Aeneas, it means the world to me to be here. That's what we are going to do. We are going to deliver a team that plays with heart, that plays with passion, and that goes out there and represent this community the way that you want to be represented. The players that take the field, they're going to step on that field as young men. As boys, they're going to leave here as young men. And what we plan to do is make sure that they excel off the field as well as on the field. Because a lot of times the on the field purpose, it happens, but then when they get off the field, it doesn't. We're going to make sure that they have the tools to succeed in life as well as in football. Winners win. That's it. Winners win. And if you're a winner, then you win. You go out and do what you do. And at every level, somehow, some way, I found a way to find the win. And that's what we're going to do. And we intend to make sure that every young man that plays on this football team, that they play with the passion and that they play with the purpose. I look forward to putting a winning football team out there that you're happy to support, that you look forward to not just winning, but to dominate. One of the things that I used to love to hear Michael Irvin say was, to beat a man, you attack his weakness. To break a man, you attack his strength. And we are committed to attack our opponent's strength. We want to beat them. We want to beat them when they're at their best, playing their best, because we're going to be our best. And all that I ask you, yes, here's what's going to happen. We're going to ask for money. But more than money, I need your time. I need you sitting there. I need you there with us. The kids need to see you. They need to feel your presence. I've played in a lot of environments. Trust me, it's better to play with your fans in the stands cheering for you. So if you commit to showing up, I commit to putting the best product that we can out there on that field, giving you all that they have to win football games.
All right. That was new head coach of the Southern University Jaguars, Marshall Faulk. Winners win. And if you're winning, you got to be in the seats to see it happen. That's a common theme that's been occurring not just in HBCU football, but not just in FCS football, but also in FBS football. Where are the fans and why aren't they supporting winning programs? Right here in the Houston area, Prairie View, right up 290. They're winning. 7-1 in the SWAC. They're winning. Why weren't people in the stands, filling the stands for that Alabama State game? Don't get it. They were there for homecoming with the lightweight team, but why didn't they return the following week? The biggest game of the season for the Prairie View Panthers to date. And Andrew Body was in town. People did not show up. Then you have Coach Jackson, who pleaded for people to come to homecoming, pleaded for people to buy tickets for the Alabama State game, even purchased 100 tickets himself for people who may have been affected by the government shutdown situation that happened across our country. People still did not show up. I was there and I saw it. And I saw the stands, and I know the numbers people report didn't match up to what I saw in the stands. So, guys, if you have a winning program, show up. Same thing in Houston at Shell Energy Stadium. Nobody showed up. The first winning season for the Tigers of Texas Southern, and Coach Chris Dishman was not too pleased at the end of the season. It wasn't a 7-win or 8-win season. It was 6-5. But it was the first in over 25 years that Texas Southern put a winning program out on the field in a nice stadium called Shell Energy Stadium. Why aren't you showing up? I saw the Delaware State, South Carolina State game. Why aren't people showing up? That was a championship game. I think they had around 4,000, 4,500 people there in Dover, Delaware. Guys, you got to show up. And Southern University, I think they're right behind Jackson State, which is also still the FCS leader in fan attendance. They lost that ranking last year in a championship year. Think about that. They were a championship year and they lost their home ranking. At one point, especially with the Coach Prime era, it was 40. They averaged around 44,000, 40,000 people in the stands. It dropped drastically over the past couple of years, even though TC Taylor was still winning and put a championship team out there. But the fans are fickle. You say you want a winner and you're not showing up. Well, some people say, well, Kyle, can we afford those tickets? Can we afford the parking? You got $20 parking, you got $30 tickets. If I have a family of through 2, 3, or 4, that's a lot of money. And that's a fair assessment. We ain't talking about y'all. We talking about people who, if you can get your hair did and get your doodads on and everything else, and you want a winner, support the winner. That's all I'm saying. There's some people out there who gonna complain about what I said, but it's the truth, y'all. You know it. All right, so let's move on. So congratulations to Coach Marshall Faulk, and he's now taking over at Southern University. My dad would be proud of you, being an old Jaguar himself. All right, guys, and this past weekend we had a lot of great accolades that were being awarded to people. So let's start at Jackson State University, where you have quarterback Jacobian Morgan, who was the SWAC Player of the Year in the state of Mississippi. He was awarded that top honor to be the impact player. And you have defensive end Quincy Ivory, who won 2 SWAC awards for Defensive Player of the Year, as well as Newcomer of the Year for the conference. So congratulations to those young men for having such a great season. The Aeneas Williams Award will be bestowed upon one of 3 young men. They had a great field out there, and I'm a voter in this process as well. You had semifinalists from NCCU to Bethune-Cookman, Grambling State, Delaware State. So we narrowed everything down to Zuri Watson, who's the research freshman that came from Howard University at cornerback. He's one. Then you had Johnny Harris III, the Bethune-Cookman University cornerback, who is a red shirt senior, and he is a part of that mix as well. And finally, you have Jared Washington, the cornerback from South Carolina State. A lot of NFL scouts have been looking at him quite extensively. Right now, PFF has him as a 75.2 grade when it comes to defensive coverage, and he's had total 33 tackles, 32 solo stops, and he's also had several breakups, 2 interceptions on the year as well. Hold on one second, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, and we are back, and I was just telling you about Aeneas Williams Award recipients, or the finalists will be Johnny Harris III, Zuri Watson from Howard, and Jared Washington from South Carolina State. Now, here to talk about what's going to go down in Jackson, Mississippi, we got the legendary Ralph Cooper on with us. What's going on, Coop? How you doing?
I'm doing quite well, Kyle, and thank you for having me on your program. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good.
So formal, Coop. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Well, Coop, man, it's a lot of buzz in the air, especially around the Houston area, and some tension as well because Prairie View A&M, they're going to ride into Jackson, Mississippi, and take on the reigning champs of the SWAC, as well as reigning champs of all HBCU football, the Jackson State Tigers. Coop, how you feel about this one?
Well, I think it's a great matchup. It's great to see these 2 teams going against each other. The best team in the East, which is Jackson State, trying to win another championship, and then you've got Prairie View A&M University representing the West, and it's a thrill to be able to be around to see these 2 teams at the level that they're playing right now, meeting each other in the SWAC championship game. And the other important thing to me are the coaches, the coaching staffs of both teams. You have, of course, T.C. Taylor leading the Jackson State team with his staff. And then on the other side, you've got first-year coach Tremaine Jackson representing and his staff representing the West. And it's a thrill to see a guy from Houston in his first year as a coach at Prairie View, realizing the importance of the West being represented the right way, west of the Mississippi, with a Prairie View team in the finals is
Yeah.
huge to me.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is huge, man. And Coop, I know Coach keeps going back to this. I'm talking about Tremaine Jackson. He said nobody believed in him as well as the Panthers at the beginning of the year. And I was like, that's not true. I think you and I had some belief that these guys could possibly win that West, didn't you?
Oh yes, yes, yeah, yeah. We did, and then there were some others also that may have thought that he had a chance to win. But the amazing thing is, not only did they win, uh, they have won 9 football games.
That's
You
right.
have to really kind of go back to recall when Prairie View won 9 football games. They won the division, and they won it with 9 wins, 3 losses, and uh, and they came close to being able to host the championship game, losing on a field goal earlier in the season, late in the season. So it's just been it's really been thrilling and inspirational to see all this happening.
Right. You know, think about the history of Prairie View A&M. A lot of people are not aware that Prairie View has won 11 conference championships before, right? And 9 of those wins were outright, and 2 were only shared. You had recent coach Henry Frazier the third, and then you had Billy Nix and James Stevens and Sam Taylor, back in the 30s, right? And not only that, you had Coach Eric Dooley and Bubba McDowell. Those 2 won the SWAC West Championship. So there's a lot of good ball that has been played at Prairie View.
Right, and I didn't see those first 2 coaches. I know some of you want to say I'm as old as what, Moses or whatever. Moses was still living.
No, we're
But
not saying
I
that,
did,
Coop.
well, I know how you all are. But I did see Billy Nix and Coach Frazier, and I saw some of those great players that played on those teams. Now, the one I didn't see play, one of the greatest players and greatest teams with great players, was the team that Prairie View had with Choo Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
Choo Brackens, I'm sorry, Choo Brackens. Choo Brackens was a quarterback, and this happened in the 50s, late 50s, if I'm correct. And he quarterback Prairie View. He was about a 6'3", 6'4" guy. He became a great coach later on up in the Fort Worth area and mentored a lot of people. But he, in those particular teams when he was there, played on a high level. In fact, he was so good he got drafted. The draft used to be more than 7 rounds. I think it was 20 some odd rounds. But he got drafted and was signed by Green Bay and actually made the team in
Oh,
the
wow.
50s.
Okay.
And but they were not ready for that. But that showed you how outstanding he was. He made the team. So and then they cut him without really ever really giving him a real chance to be a quarterback in the NFL at that time. The word was, they were not ready for the black quarterback at that
Right.
time.
Right.
But he was a big, as big as Doug Williams. He was at that kind of body, Shaq Harris type body,
Yeah.
a big guy who could have played there. But again, they were not ready for that. Then you got those teams with Otis Taylor, Jimmy Kernick, Kenny Houston, Alvin Reed, and all those guys, Alan Aldridge, and all of those guys that were there at that time. So they've had great teams.
And that really makes you wonder through what we have heard. And I know Otis Taylor is still out there for the Hall of Fame bid, right, as a senior. But hopefully he gets in, because I think it's a travesty not having him a part of that, just that hollow hall of all the accomplishments that he had to help Kansas City win the Super Bowl. Hank Stram wouldn't be Hank Stram, and Lenny Dawson wouldn't be Lenny Dawson without Otis Taylor.
Right, and I'll break the news to you. He didn't make it. He didn't make it again. They've narrowed it down to 4 or 5 people. So the last 4 or 5 people with the possibility of making it in that seniors group this year, and Otis didn't.
Wow.
He missed out again. So we regret that. That was one of the things that he really wanted to do. He really wanted to get in there before he passed, of course, and he should have been in there years ago. Like you said, his quarterback is in there. Lenny Dawson is in there, but Otis is not in there. But a tragedy, in my opinion, also.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's turn our attention to the opponents of the Panthers, the Jackson State Tigers, of course. T.C. Taylor took over after Deion Sanders left to go to Colorado, and now T.C. Taylor is the man. His first season wasn't quite what he wanted. Second season, he brought home the HBCU Football Championship as well as the SWAC Championship, and now they have a chance to repeat. Talk about the job he has done in your eyes.
Well, I mean, when Deion Sanders left there, many people thought the program was going to go down.
Yeah.
Because the level that Deion, Coach Sanders, took it to. But one of the things we have to give T.C. Taylor credit for, and I've seen this happen in a lot of cases. A lot of guys run shotgun for guys who are the head coaches, and they really never, while they're assistants, they never really learn how to be a head coach or what to do if they got a chance to be a head coach. And apparently T.C. Taylor learned quite well from the situations he's been in, and the most recent one with Deion Sanders. So when Deion Sanders left, he really hasn't missed a beat. They continue to get good, outstanding players. In fact, I'm told that we've got a good group coming in this year out of high school, and then they're going to do the portal thing. So you have to give him credit. And then he's been able to put together a real good staff. And I like the way he operates during a game. He makes adjustments, and he does it at a high level, and he's going to be hard. He and his staff are going to be hard to defeat, in my opinion, especially with the home field advantage, the Jackson, Mississippi advantage, and the will to win. They've instilled the will to win in their team, and they seemingly play well together as a team.
Yeah, you're right. Think about it. 9-2, kind of similar record. I know 9-3 for the Panthers, but they're both 7-1. They lost to Grambling earlier this year at the Las Vegas HBCU Classic. We're talking about Jackson State. They also lost early in the year to Southern Miss, which was a very good team. They're going to possibly be in their conference championship. But now they face Prairie View. The only loss that Prairie View had in the conference was to Alabama State, and Alabama State pushed the Tigers as well. How do you see this matchup? Do you think Prairie View has a chance, or are the guys in Vegas right to say they're a 7.5 point underdog to the Tigers?
I don't know who the people are who are making the odds. Just like I don't know who the people are who pick these all conference teams, late in the season.
Yeah.
But and I just ask, you didn't set the point spread, right? You didn't have anything to do with the 7.5 point spread being set with Jackson State to win the game, right?
No, not me.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So you respect people in their efforts to do that type of thing. But and many people are picking Jackson to win because, again, they're at home. But the thing about Prairie View is they seem to be peaking at the right time. Coach Jackson seems to have his team peaking at the right time. Both teams appear to be healthy, and both teams are very explosive football teams. Also, they can score points. I think Prairie View in the last game scored 59 points, and Jackson has been running around in the 30, 40 range also throughout the season. So we could see a high-scoring game. But the part of these teams, in my opinion, that is that's downplayed is the fact that they do play defense.
Right.
Yeah, they play defense, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of defense the teams are in and how the defensive players who seemingly are kind of like the lost guys here because everybody's talking offense, right?
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how these defensive people adjust to this game. Also playing on a big stage like this, uh, and but I look for a high scoring game. I
Really?
look for some scoring. Yes.
Well, look, man, and I'm glad you brought up the defense. A lot of people have overlooked the fact that Tremaine Jackson and his staff, Brandon Anderson is the defensive coordinator for the Panthers. They're number one in the nation. Well, number three in the FCS. I apologize. Number one in the SWAC, number three in the FCS.
Yes.
And these guys are allowing like 270 yards per game. Offensively, they surrender. They have been limiting their opponents to 4.5 yards per play, giving up only 3,200 total yards and 22 touchdowns, which is one of the lowest touchdown rates in all of FCS as well. Are we overlooking the fact that we have such a good defensive struggle, like you said, and Jackson State is right behind Prairie View in a lot of those metrics and stats? But when we looked at how Alabama State was effective against Jackson State until Quincy Ivory changed the momentum of that game when he intercepted Andrew Body, right? Do we think, especially with the trouble they had last week against Alcorn State, that Prairie View could possibly shock some people?
Yes. Well, it would be a shock to some people. Now, it wouldn't be a shock to me. I don't think it would not be a shock to me if Prairie View steps up and wins this game.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I just, when you look at the quarterback is playing his best football at this particular point in the season, and as a team, they seem to be playing their best football at this point in the season. And then you have to give the coaching staff credit.
Want to make a difference in your community but not sure how? Go to GoFundMe.com right now and start a GoFundMe. Seriously. Your next fundraiser doesn't have to start in a school parking lot or a church basement. You can start a GoFundMe today in just minutes. Fundraise for yourself, a friend or family member, or an organization. All that matters is that you care about them. GoFundMe is the trusted place to fundraise for what you care about. With no pressure to hit your fundraising goal, but tons of tools to help you reach it, you can confidently start fundraising right now. Whether it's creative, local, or critical, your cause matters. And there's a reason why GoFundMe is backed by millions and chosen by fundraisers everywhere. It works, and it matters. GoFundMe helps you make a real difference. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com. That's GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
While holiday shopping is almost always fun, credit can be confusing. Download the MyFICO app now and shop with confidence, knowing that you can stay on top of your credit 24/7. Get your FICO score straight from the people that created it, plus free credit monitoring and a free credit report every month. No credit card required. FICO scores are used by over 90% of lenders, so trust the MyFICO app to keep you in the know. Visit myfico.com/free or download the MyFICO app today.
Right.
The coach has really he and his staff have really stepped up in regards to having this team ready to rumble. And I just think that they're going to be ready. I don't think they're going to be intimidated with the game being played in Jackson. They know what they're up against. And I think with the attitude of the coach and his coaching staff again, that will rub off on the players.
Yeah. Look, Prairie View, the only concern I have is that rushing defense. They're like number 50 in the nation, and they surrender quite a bit of yardage on the ground. But they have that bend but don't break mentality. They haven't let too many people into the end zone, right? So, Of course, Jackson has a great defense. We know that. But their defensive backfield is not like they used to be as well. Do you think Cam Peters, the quarterback, would you say has been gaining some confidence, can be able to take advantage and have some explosive plays, especially with all SWAC selection, Mr. Rockwell and those guys.
Yes, I think he not only see. You must remember now they've got a running game also.
They do.
The newcomer of the year, the freshman of the year,
Bingham, yeah, Chase
comes
Bingham.
out of Prairie View. Yeah, and they've got another running back there. I think McDowell.
McDowell,
Been running pretty good also. And the line has been playing real well. So I look for them. I think I think we're going to see them playing their best football this season in this particular game with everybody seemingly healthy and in a big stage like this. And aware of the fact that Jackson State has won championships in recent years, and knowing their own history now, I just think we're going to see a good game, and I see the linebacker playing a key role in this game also. You can't sit back and let these quarterbacks just tie their shoes and pull their pants up. You know what I'm talking about?
Tie the shoes, read the paper, get a Coke, have a Coke and a smile.
Send out a social media site or something on social media. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You can't let these people. You can, but in my opinion, you can't.
Yeah.
Let these people do that to you.
I agree. Yeah. Look, and speaking of that, we have to talk about Prairie View. And guys, we're here in the Houston area, and being able to cover Prairie View as well as Texas Southern has been great this season, in my opinion, Coop, to be able to have two winning programs. And that's the first since Richard Nixon?
Yeah, I think Richard Nixon was in the White House.
Yeah.
Claiming he wasn't a crook. And we know
I'm
what's
not a
happening
crook.
in the White House now.
I'm not a crook.
But that was then.
Yeah.
But again, and that's why it's been such a great season. You've had the teams in Texas Southern, and Prairie View. One team won 9 games. One team won 6 games. That was a real big plus, in my opinion, in regards to stirring the interest up in regards to the football teams. The attendance wasn't what some of us thought it would be or should be, but when it came down to excitement playing football, we have to give these teams credit. They have played well, and they have been entertaining, and I think that's what's going to happen this weekend. The people at ESPN did themselves a disservice. This game should be on ESPN.
Right.
Not ESPN2 or U or Plus or whatever. This should be on the main ESPN station. I know they've got other things that they're obligated to do, but this is a real big football game. And in 2025, it's really a game that enhances what the HBCUs are trying to do across the country. And see, you've got 2 guys here. Everybody seemingly goes for guys who played in the NFL, Hall of Famers, NFL players.
Right.
These are 2 coaches who've been in the trenches and worked themselves up without the fanfare of being pro players. They've just been hard-working coaches striving to build teams and programs, and it's good to see them being rewarded. The same with Barry over at South Carolina State. It's good to see these type of guys getting this chance to be on this type of stage.
Yeah. Can you believe this, Coop? Jackson was passed over several times over the past couple of years for head coaching positions. Some of these teams that passed over him wish they had rethunk that. And as well as Barry. He was passed over as well. And we know one situation personally why I couldn't believe the feedback was, he's a little bit better than a high school coach.
Right. And it's a pity that they were guys have been overlooked. But again, the other they didn't give up. When they got these chances, look at what they've done. They've stepped up. They've stepped up at a high level, and they've coached these programs into the positions that they're in right now. And I just think it's going to get better. They're going to lose some players, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a great job developing players, first-year, second-year players. But then they're doing a good job also getting players from other places and blending them in. Look at Coach Jackson. I think he had 70 players.
Mm-hmm.
who had never played together before.
Yeah, right.
And now they're in the SWAC championship game, 7.5-point underdogs, but with a chance to win the game.
I recall people ridiculed him at the beginning of the season. They says no way you could be able to have that many players that never played before to be a winner. Well,
right.
He proved them wrong.
Right.
He proved them wrong.
And still proving them wrong, because next week this time, or Saturday night, Saturday night at this time, he could be SWAC champions headed to the HBCU Championship game. See, we forget about that game is coming up too, and that's what these two teams have to play for, the right or the chance to go to the SWAC Championship game, which is going to be in Atlanta.
The Celebration Bowl.
Yeah,
Yes.
Celebration Bowl. So, hey, like I say, it's just great to see all of these things happening.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and you like to talk about the kids, and we got to be able to spotlight these kids. The SWAC first teamers: Calvin McMillan, offensive lineman; Mr. Rockwell, wide receiver; Trevor Randall, defensive back. He was first team all SWAC for the Panthers. Second team was Bingham, the freshman running back. Then you have Trevon Jones, tight end; Malik Gaki, who was the defensive lineman; and Eric Zachary, the defensive back. They were second team. So 7 all in all. And coach said he felt a few of his guys were left off, and I have to agree with him. So, but congratulations to those guys. But in Texas Southern, we had 2. We have your guy, the Big Nasty, Mr. Aikens. Yep. He made it, as well as Mr. Bogarty. Both of those guys made the second team all SWAC.
Right, and it's good to see them make it, and when you win, more guys make it. See, that's one thing that's how you see more people making the team who play for Prairie View than who made the team last year. So when you win games, big games, you win divisional championships, you get more people selected to these teams at the end of the season. These are all conference teams. Again, but I go back. Did you vote on? Were you involved in the voting on this?
No, those votes only for the SIDs and the athletic directors of the conference.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe they'll change that at some point and include reporters who watch some of the games also on a consistent basis. I think you should include. I don't think they're going to sway the voting to where the best people are not being elected or selected, but I think you reporters and broadcasters who cover the games, teams should be involved in the selection of these all conference teams.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll change that pretty soon. Dr. McClellan right now, I think he's standing pat. Look, Coach told me, he says it's a testament to those guys. He's talking about his staff, how everything went this season. And he said Chase Bingham being the freshman of the year is really a big deal, along with the 6 other guys that made all conference. And he also was the SWAC coach of the year. Right. That's huge for this area, right?
Yeah, well, he's my coach of the year also. I really feel good about that because I think I selected him before anybody.
You did.
So just sort of see all the others naming him as the coach of the year really makes me feel good. I got lucky, I guess, and picked the right guy this time. So.
Well, Coop, you know what you're doing.
Well, I got lucky. I just thank you though. Thank you for the compliment, but it's really he's deserving with what he did. He's really deserving of being the coach of the year.
Okay.
And I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I'm proud of him as well. Look, another young man that we should be very proud of, Andrew Body. He was the offensive player of the year for the SWAC. But not only that, Coop, he was the leading vote getter for the Box to Row All-American team as the quarterback. So he's an All-American as well.
And he's got another year left, right? He's coming back, right? I think
he said he's coming back. You know, he made a statement in an interview after the final game these guys had against Tuskegee. So yeah.
Well, I think that it's really great to see him being honored like that, and it's good to see that I think he's recovered. He had one serious injury several years ago. He
Yeah.
came back from that, and he's had another serious injury, and from all indications, he's going to be all right. And then he's going to have another year. And I know one of the happiest persons in Alabama at this particular point, a guy who was very happy to see Santa Claus arrive early.
Yeah.
Was Coach Eddie Robinson. So
and he did a tremendous job this year as well.
Yeah, right. Like I say, it's what we saw in the SWAC this year, and some of the MEAC games I saw in the CIAA and the SIAC, HBCU football has really moved up a notch in my opinion. But these people who broadcast the games have to do a better job in my opinion. I go back to ESPN. This game should be on ESPN and not ESPN U2 or Plus or whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Eddie Robinson and the Alabama State Hornets. You had your first 10-win season in many, many years, they said. So that's great for him. But also, Prairie View had 2 All-Americans, that offensive lineman, Mr. McMillan. He was selected, as well as Trevor Randall, the safety. He was selected as an All-American as well for the HBCU side. All right, cool.
Yes. Well,
what's your prediction? Let's talk about the big game.
Well, I'm predicting Prairie View in an upset. I'm going to take Prairie View in an upset. I know Jackson State is the favorite. They're at home. They've got everything going for them. At home, healthy. The crowd is going to be on their side, but I think some people are going to show up representing Prairie View and supporting the Prairie View team. But I think the main thing is that the coach and his staff will have the Panthers ready to rock and roll in Jackson this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Prairie View. You got Jackson?
Man, I'm bleeding purple and gold, baby. I'm bleeding purple and gold.
I'm
going Prairie View with the upset as well. I've been telling people I would not. I've been saying this since 3 weeks ago. Wouldn't be surprised if they go into Jackson, or even if they were going to go to Montgomery, that they would win that game. And I just have that feeling. It's either going to be one or two things, Coop. It's going to be a close game, win, or it's going to be a blowout by somebody, you know. But either way.
I think we'll see a lot of scoring. Yeah. And it may come down to whoever has the ball at the end of the game.
Right. And has Prairie View learned from that loss against Alabama State and what to do when it comes to that final drive and being able to win? They did it early in the season against Texas Southern. Can they do it again?
Well, I think so. I think when they lost the Alabama State game, you had a young freshman kicker trying to make that field goal at the end of the game. So you got a team now with that has experienced some of everything. Even the younger players and the 70 players who came in there together, they've had a chance to learn each other and play together. And I just think that they are going to do a good job. And this is no knock on Jackson State. Of course, we wouldn't be surprised if Jackson State won the game, but I'm picking Prairie View to pull off the upset.
Me too. All right, Coop. I appreciate it. What's going on in high school ball down here in Houston?
Oh, you got good games all over the place. You've got Randall and Iowa Colony playing against each other. That's Friday night. You've got Summer Creek in a huge game against Dickinson, if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
Summer Creek against C.E. King. Dickinson against North Shore. I think that's it.
Oh, now that's a big one. Against North Shore? Wow.
Yeah. So you got some huge games coming up this weekend on the high school scene here in Houston. And then you go up north. You've got a huge rematch in the state of Texas. You've got Dallas South Oak Cliff meeting Port Neches Groves. Now that's a huge game also. Then you got Duncanville in a rematch. Earlier this season, Duncanville lost the game, and and they lost to Waxahachie, and now they're meeting in the playoffs again. So
Okay.
Duncanville gets a chance to try to make amends for that loss they had earlier in the season against that team.
Did
Just a lot of football.
Duncanville win the championship last year?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you got some outstanding teams in these playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Coop, looking at some of these coaches that are in high school football, and they have what, 5 openings or 6 openings now. Well, they just closed one opening at Winston-Salem today with Torrey Woodbury, who previous alum, and he played in the National Football League for a little bit. He's now taken over as the head coach over at Winston-Salem. But some of these high school coaches, you noted a long time ago that they should have some great opportunities to try to step up or try to be, if not a head coach, at least assistant on some of these Division I staffs.
Well, a lot of that used to happen in the past, especially here in the state of Texas. And you had several years ago, you had 2 great high school coaches who moved up to the collegiate level from high schools in the state of Texas. But it's also there's been a history of high school coaches, head coaches, moving up and becoming assistant coaches, maybe when some of their great high school athletes went off to a college or whatever. So that has happened in the past. But I think now with the influx of the pro players, those odds are slimmer now than ever before.
Yeah.
Because even for a guy who, T.C. Taylor, who was on the staff, it's kind of hard now for guys to get moved up off of a staff in the SWAC, in these HBCUs now, because the elite jobs, the pros, the former NFL players are going after those jobs.
Right. And one that just was announced this past week was Marshall Faulk over at the Bluff on, for the Southern University Jaguars. How do you think he would do?
I think he's going to do all right. If he comes in and get the right staff with him, he's going to attract some players. I listened to his press conference, not his press conference, I listened to his meeting with his team the other day, and he did a real good job with that, I understand. And the key, I think, is going to be who he brings in to help him. And also, I think the other, you got a number of keys there, but that's the one of the main ones. But the other one, I think Fred McNair, Coach Fred McNair, who coached Southern to their second win of the season in a very disappointing year. He coached them to a win. He and the staff coached them to a win over Grambling in the Bayou Classic. That was huge. I think he should be considered for some of these openings that are open right now. Hopefully he will apply, or hopefully they will pursue him and he will apply, because I think a guy like that should still be in coaching as a head coach.
I do as well. We can't keep losing great head coaches, right?
Right.
But you know what has been interesting? Faulk released several other coaches, but did not release McNair.
Well, he saw the game the other night.
Yeah, good stuff.
And I think that's a good sign, because you want somebody with that kind of HBCU SWAC experience on your staff. You can't think about it. That's a good move.
Yeah, and even if he just kept him as assistant head coach, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a good move. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hopefully he'll be smart enough to listen to it. I'm not saying you have to do everything a guy presents to you, but at least listen to the man.
True point. Yeah. All right, Coop. Well, look, thank you so much. There was something else I wanted to tell you. We were talking about something earlier this week. But anyway, Coop has the Prairie View Panthers, as well as I have the Prairie View Panthers becoming the new 2025 SWAC Football Champions.
And see, one of the great things that could happen to Mississippi right now is when Prairie View wins this game, the people in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, to get to experience Anton.
They have AD Golf and his hat.
They get to experience and see that. That would be one of that's a blessing for those people over there to be able to see this man with his hat on and all the excitement and energy he's going to be bringing to the sideline during the game. So it's going to be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, AD is going to be ready, man. I can tell you that much. It should be a good game. I think. How's the weather going to be, Coop? Have you heard anything about it?
It's supposed to be clear. It's raining now, but it's supposed to be clear by Saturday. And the game has an impact on the business side of it. Also, the game has an impact. I don't know the number, but the game has an impact on the Jackson, Mississippi community, and that's good too to see the businesses making some money.
Yeah, the economic, and that's what Coach Prime was saying. You know, he said, man, as soon as we got here, when he and his staff, they turned things around for that whole community.
Yeah, right. So it's going to be good to see that happening.
Well, guys, let's have a good game, a safe game. Let's make sure these guys stay healthy. It's a violent game, but we don't want to see any significant injuries coming out of it. But hopefully the Prairie View Panthers will be victorious and be able to face South Carolina State in the 2025 Cricket Celebration Bowl on December 13th. All right, cool. Okay. Tell everybody how they can follow you out there.
You can go to, you can find me 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Ralph Cooper Facebook Live, the Simple Radio app. Hit the Simple Radio app and hit KCOH, and also KCOH The Source, also on the internet. And I want to thank all of the people who do listen and follow me. I cannot thank you enough. I'm just an old guy who is still learning this particular trade that we're in right now. To see these youngsters like Kyle and all of them having these great opportunities, and to be around the kind of buzz around like a buzzard, it's really good to be able to utilize these vehicles. So thank you, Kyle. Keep up the good work.
After 56 years of broadcasting experience and being a legend right there with George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, the Rumble in the Jungle, and all that good stuff. He's been a part of history. He won't tell you, but he's been a part of history. And I think, Coop, we're going to see some history tomorrow, on Saturday, I should say.
See some more. We'll see. We're around to see more memories being made. Eddie Robinson, W.C. Gardner, and all those guys, they made a lot of memories for people.
Yeah, sure did.
And now we get a chance to see more memories being made here in 2025. Years from now, people will be talking about T.C. Taylor and Tremaine Jackson.
That's right.
And this particular game that's coming up this weekend.
That's right. Yeah. More HBCU legends to be made. And it's going to be, I see here, around 49 to 50 degrees, mostly cloudy. Then as the game progresses, it's still going to be partly cloudy. And get this, around to the end of the game, it's going to be mostly sunny. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, the sun will be out over there.
Isn't that something? All right. Yeah. All right, Coop.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Keep up the great work. Same here. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
All right, guys. We will return. And Coop, thank you so much. Take care. And we'll be right back. All right, guys. That was a great conversation with Ralph Cooper. And don't forget, go to hbclegends.net to read up on all of our content. And you can find our podcast on Red Circle. If you don't find it there, you can also find it on our HBC Legends site. And we're also on Spotify, Amazon, Google, any of those major platforms that you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and follow us, like us. Even on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel at HBCU Legends. We need your support. Keep on subscribing. Keep on liking our videos, because we've been growing. This year, we have had a tremendous growth cycle, and I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done for HBCU Legends. All right, guys, you heard a lot of what has been going on, the Box to Row award winners, and we had the great stunning win that Grambling, they were stunned by Southern in that Bayou Classic as well. But guys, this Saturday, tune in to the SWAC Championship. Support from afar. If you're not able to get to Jackson, Mississippi, Tune in. That's what we need. Guys, I think it's going to be a great and epic game, and we need to have those type of games to continue to be able to promote the brand forward for everyone. I'm Kyle T Mosley of HBCU Legends. Again, go to hbculegends.net and follow us on SI, and you can be able to follow me at KTMOZE on all social media platforms, and you can go to HBCU Legends on all social media platforms as well. Let's have a great weekend. We're going to have great reports leading up to the big game, and we're going to have the recaps as well coming your way. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. You guys always remember, always be tenacious and never, ever give up. Thank you.
Holidays mean feasting, from cheddar biscuits to French toast bakes. Hero Bread has you covered with 0 to 5 grams net carb and high fiber options to ensure your holidays stay delicious and balanced. Like their 3 grams net carb pan of chocolat. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains up to 17 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
Give the gift that everyone wants, Omaha Steaks. Right now, save 50% site-wide, plus get an extra $35 off with code HOLIDAYGIFT at checkout. Save on USDA-certified tender bacon-wrapped filet mignons, perfectly aged ribeyes, gourmet sides, and decadent desserts, delivered right to their door. Skip the stress. Order now at omahasteaks.com. That's omahasteaks.com and use code HOLIDAYGIFT at checkout to get an extra $35 off. Hurry, these deals won't last. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.